Your boy, Dr. J. I'm here in the studio with Donovan Mason, who's known as Dondon. And we want to talk about culture, hip hop culture. It seems to be the growingest thing going in the public right now. Everybody is into hip hop. And so, Dondon, if you could share with us, what do you think about the hip hop culture, where they're at today, and what do you think is their future, what relies in their future ahead?
Uh, I think the hip hop cultures has came a long way from back then to now because the technologies has gotten better. The rappers even has gotten better. Um, I think they still have a long way to go. Um, a lot of people back then really didn't like hip hop. They thought it was all violence. Now, as today, I see it as the number one thing going. You know.
Did you think hip hop was a language of the urban blacks, the young blacks coming up? It was just their way of expression.
Yes, I think they was just, I think hip hop period is just expressing, if you mad, sad, happy, you know, you throw them on, they gonna get you in the mood, because all music, you know what I mean, in the hip hop.
What would you think that how hip hop has transcended, how it has transcended, and how it has transformed into this day? We talk about transparent, and hip hop scene has been transparent. It has transitioned itself from one level to many different levels. Even today, you see a lot of different cultures embracing, from Hispanic to Latinos to just about whites to Caucasians to
Mm-hmm.
you see people overseas from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that Russia's got a lot of hip hop going on. A lot of people's not aware of it,
Right.
but there's a lot of it's a growing trend right now in Russia. So, what do you think about the transparency of it? How it has transcended itself in time.
Yes, it has grown a lot over the years, and I think eventually they gonna end up being number one, because of the expressions and the way they making the music now today,
Do you think
and the
that hip
beats
hop?
that they make is
Do you think
very
hip hop?
nice.
That's true. Do you think that hip hop is the new music of the young people, the younger generation, the generations to come?
Oh yes, oh
Why
yes,
would you believe that?
because of the writing that they're doing now. It's more inspiring than it was back then. Most of them that come out now know how to write, produce, and even make their own beats. So they know how to put that all together and make a great song.
That's true. It's kind of remind me of Maya Angelou, who's a poetry writer. She's historically has been known as one of the greatest poetry ever that we have known. Not because she was an African American female, but she was just a poetry writer, very intellectual. She ended up as a professor at the university, and that was a great accomplishment. How that she took poetry, and I can remember when I was coming up as a young man, poetry was a form of art, and there's different variations of poetry. And today we have what we call hip hop, another
Hmm.
variation of diversity. And so you mentioned about the future, and what is the hip hop future as you see it today? And what do you think about the future? Do they have a future, or do you think it's going to be another transformation change is going to happen?
I believe they have a great future because a lot of the music today is very, very nice. The way they put it together. A lot of the artists take a lot of time out writing it and not just, putting some bullshit together and just making a song. Um, a lot of them artists probably have even been to school.
It's kind of interesting that you said that because if we look at one artist right now, he's a gospel artist named Kurt Franklin. And Kurt Franklin has transitioned gospel music from tradition to a more urban sound. He came out with this song you probably heard, Stomp.
Yeah.
And when that first came out, they kind of almost, the church kind of almost demonized him because they didn't understand what that Stomp was talking about. But then the church kind of got used to the style, the urban style, the hip hop type of gospel, and now today everybody, the youth in most churches really like him, and they really embrace his music. But we found that there was a big gap in the older generation because they were more traditional. Everything was more hymn and traditional, and contemporary gospel was there because we had people like Bobby Jones and New Life, but it wasn't as broadly accepted. So when Kurt Franklin came along, he was a new addition to gospel. It was a different level, a different sound, a different mix, something that people had never heard before. And so hip hop has brought itself into culture. It brought itself as a level that was used to. I mentioned some of the artists as Marvin Gaye, which was back in the days where he was a great singer. We look at other artists, Luther Vandross was another great vocalist, singer that would just had music, and it was just, and we can go for Herbie Hancock, we can go to Ohio players, we can go all across the board.
Frankie Beverly and Mays.
Yes, we can go even to Prince, as you see today out of Minneapolis, where he's actually an artist to his heart, born artist, born a star. Today he still is a rising star. We look at our history of Michael Jackson, who's deceased now, was a very hip-hop, brought hip-hop in a very dramatic dancing form to present to the people, and people love it because the art and how he was so energetic on the stage really captivated the audience. And so I think what hip-hop has done is took that to a different level. And so a lot of cultures, and I mentioned earlier, is embracing that. You know, I was going down the street the other day and I was hearing the boom boom, and I thought it was a black guy. It's not a stereotype statement. I know a lot of people might take it that way, but I don't mean that way. In my mind, I thought it was a black guy, and then get out the car, it was a white Caucasian guy with the bling bling getting out the car, and everybody around him when he got out into the store, everybody looked. Everybody was in shock because everybody assumed it was a black guy getting out the car, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people who watching the video can relate to this in their hometown. But you know, as culture, as hip hop has took a turn, it had a lot of people from all over the world is embracing. It has a message, just like poetry. I mentioned about Maya Angelou, who had a message.
That's really all rapping is poetry.
Yes.
You know, if you really think about it.
Well, I think it's come a long ways. I can remember when it first started, some of the lyrics wasn't accepted with the traditional average person thinking. Education was on the rise, and then you had this rapping that took place, and people wasn't too really embrace of it because they thought it was something like a second language, is to say. And so people didn't really embrace it because some of the words a lot of the hip hop or a lot of the rap artists were saying was very offensive to the public, and a lot of the grammar wasn't even proper. So, and I can see how the society kind of rejected it because it didn't sound appealing. But today you find that now it's like anything. You keep repeating it over and over and over. It kind of has a sound to it, kind of have a ring to it. It kind of wears. So that concludes this episode, and we will look forward to another episode. We talk about other issues. One of the issues we're going to bring up is what's been happening and as far as the black president of the United States. And I think that's going to be a great, exciting talk that we're going to have. And all of you that listening to YouTube, please tune in to the next episode.
Oh yes, and you know my saying, get her done.